Episode 1. How? Just before I dive into the topic of episode 1, how, just want to thank everybody for the positive comments that have come from the introduction video. I really appreciate those comments, and more importantly, those who've reached out to me just to share some of their experiences or what they're currently going through or what they did go through in the past. And, please keep those coming. It's important that we all share these types of experience so that just shows that we are not alone in this world. As much as depression puts us in a corner and makes us think that everybody's against us. But, ideally, I think with me and asking this first question, how am I depressed? How am I in the state of mind of depression? Is probably I want to start with a very difficult question. And my short answer to it is depression sucks. It really does suck. I used to think that mental illness was just for the psychotic people out there, serial killers and the nun. But, as you start to realize, as you start to unravel yourself in this depression state, it's a real mental illness problem, and it's something that we have to, again, try our best to try and fix ourselves, and I don't have the real answer to the question how, because I don't know how I got there. I think throughout my life, I'm sure I had many occasions and trials and errors that have culminated up to a point to really set myself solidly in this state of depression. And we will discuss those in other episodes to come. I'll give good examples of where I feel some of this depression has stemmed from. And of that experience, I'll discuss where I've been able to work through those issues and where there's some real issues that I haven't really tackled yet, and what my fears are around that. But I just want to let everybody know that, I'm just documenting this just for my own sanity. I like to storytell. And I think this is a good way for me to physically understand what is the thought process in my own head. More importantly, I don't think that depression should be looked at lightly. I realize it now, but it's, as I say, I'm much older and wiser now to understand that. And it's something that I want to ensure that I on a good course to recovery. I'm not expecting to be cured overnight, but I surely want to be better off than how I've been feeling over the last 2 years since I've been, diagnosed by a clinical psychiatrist, that I am, suffering from clinical depression. And it's not an easy topic to talk about. I don't think anybody wants to talk about it. I think the problem is that the stigma around men, you need to man up, and you need to just, swallow some pride and get on with it. But, there are days where we as men have too much responsibility, or we think we are carrying too much responsibility, and we don't know how to cope with that overwhelming feeling of too much is too much, and what do we deal with that, and I think those are the kind of questions I'd like to discuss in other episodes moving forward. I also want to make sure that I understand my role within the treatment that I am receiving. Yes, I am seeing a psychiatrist, and yes, I am on medication. And I'll give you an episode on those two parts, how it's affecting my life and how my approach has changed somewhat. I do feel I'm on the mend, but it's a long road. When I was I remember that first moment at the psychiatrist telling me, "Oh, you're suffering from depression," and it really hit home, so much so that in my mind And that's how a person I am. I already started to think, okay, I've been diagnosed, great. It's almost like the flu or COVID, but now I want to know what is going to be the fix and how long is it going to take to get to that point to be now so-called cured. And in my head, I thought I had 6 months in this, 6 months on medication, I can come off and Bob's your uncle, I'm all 100%. But lo and behold, I had episodes, and that's why I'm labeling these diary entries as episodes, because, and I'll deep in episode 2 will dive on the word episode, what it actually means, and how we go through episodes in depression. And so yeah, I've got a lot to talk about, but I'm keeping these videos fairly short. Um, and it's one can always just go back to it and hopefully have a listen and reminisce on what I said, and if it helps you understand certain things that are going through your life, then job has been done for me. But until then, I'm looking forward to creating many more episodes for everybody. Just stay safe out of there. See ya.